Hello, 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 everybody. Alright. There we go. I think I got everything set up here. Perfect. Alrighty, how's everybody doing tonight? Yo. I imagine you saying that in the most, like, intimidating way possible. Just like looming behind someone with your arms crossed. Just saying, yo. Anyway. Alright. Laundry's done, so now it's time to do some writing. Yes, you are intimidating. A large, hulking figure. Just to glare at people. I think it's just because you're tall. I think it's because you're tall and you can... I guess... You know, what do they call it? Resting bitch face? I have apparently resting panic face. So my default face is always looking like something traumatic just happened. So maybe you just have a resting grump face. I mean, you do like... I mean, there's the whole, like, you with grumpy cat thing. So, that might be why. You're not, like, actually intimidating. You're just a little bit of a grumpy cat. Oh, boy. Alright. Been, like, out running errands all day today, so I'm still kind of coming down from all that. And doing laundry, so... The goal. I've been told by many that I have a look that gives the appearance of reading someone's thoughts. Does that mean they just always have bad thoughts? Does that mean they always have, like, that you're judging them? Now I want to know what they're thinking. I mean, I guess you do kind of look, sometimes when you look at me, and I guess that would make sense, because usually when you look at me, it's a look of, like, perplexed, like, you're not quite sure what's happening, which is probably what would happen if someone could read my mind. It's an appropriate response. My favorite ex-crew members had told me I remind him a little of a Bruja. That's funny. I don't know about that, but that is pretty funny. That could just be, like, a work thing. I had a little bit of an evil eye. I mean, yeah, at work maybe. That could be the case. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You need to, if you have an evil eye, you need to work on, like, a glare. You need to have, like, the monocle glare. We should get you a monocle, actually, now that I think about it. I feel like you would do really, really well with a monocle. My demeanor was definitely different as a manager. I did glare well. Well, yeah, because you're literally managing children. You're running around trying to manage a bunch of kids. So it makes sense. Whew. Sorry. Oh. If you can't tell, I'm still tired. Alright. I mean, I'd be glaring all the time, too, if I had to do your job at the... if I had to manage all those kids. And they were literally kids. Like, a lot of them, you were managing functionally children. So... there's that. There's that. Parent. Yeah. Opressoria. Daddy Opressoria. Having to run around. Or parental Opressoria. Having to run around managing a bunch of kids. Pretending like they know what they're doing. Just like a daycare center. Yeah, it kind of was. You know. I feel like that's just... No matter how professional they try to make it. That's movie theater jobs. They're all daycares. Screaming humans with pictures, with movie pictures. Yep. Exactly. Oh, all right. I am like just now settling. I've been like on the move all day. So now I am settling, trying to get ready to get some writing done before I go on vacation. Except I had to monitor the people and the pictures. You miss it? I mean, the technical stuff was a lot of fun, so I'm sure I can see why that would be the case. But I mean, I miss elements of working at the theater. I definitely miss running the 70mm projector. I miss that a lot. That was the best time. The rest of it I could lose. I you know. Oh, you miss all of it? Yeah. Just the high. I mean, you know, it probably would have been a lot better of a job if you weren't working like 40 to 60 hours a week doing it and having to like the commute you had to do. Cuz you were overworked. Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah. You do handle high stress well, particularly in those environments, but you also were miserable. I remember you being miserable. Like, you were asleep all the time and were miserable. You looked like just a broken person. So, but who knows? Maybe like if you could do those kinds of high stress situations at a manageable 30 to 35 hours a week and didn't have to drive for like 4 hours to do it. Maybe then it would be like a little bit better. The bomb threat was absolutely my biggest test. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that. Or I remember you telling me about both those. That was all in Santa Monica, right? That was all. Yeah. That one was fake. Ugh. Yeah. That's yeah, that's because you were over by the beach. And there's a lot of loons out there. Yeah, Santa Monica. I think the bomb threat was too, in the end, or it was real but didn't work or something. Oh, God. I hope it was just a threat. That would be legitimately terrifying if some dude tried to make a bomb. At least he fucked it up. Or they fucked it up. If that's the case. But yeah, that's terrifying. Whew. Spooky. Nobody. Oh, so they did find something? Oh. It could have just been a thing that... It could have been like it was never designed to work. It was just designed to create the illusion. Or maybe someone actually did try to make a kitchen bomb or something like that. Which is terrifying. Jeez. Oh, that theater. That theater. Goodness gracious me. Ugh. Oh. Alright. Well, what are you working? You just got off work, right, Apresoria? What are you working on? Are you going to be doing just videos tonight? Right in front of the damn building. I was assigned to that. You were there when the worst shit was going down. Just perpetually. Ooh, some programming stuff sounds fun. Yeah, do some of your classes or something. Yeah. It's like you attracted it. They knew you weren't ready. You just did not want to deal with their bullshit, so they all decided to show up when you were at work. Like when rain happened and we suddenly had the waterfall in the lobby. That was my first day. Oh, God. Oh, God. They just, yeah. Everyone's like, all right, Brian's in. God brings the rain. This one dude's like, all right, Brian's there. If anyone can do it, he can handle my bomb threat. Or I'm gonna walk in with a pretend gun. But we're only doing it when Brian's there. Or sorry, Apresoria is there. Yeah. Ugh. That shows you how tired I am. I remember the first word spoken to me by the GM was "Welcome to San." Oh my God! That's like the opposite of Jurassic. That's like Jurassic Park. Welcome to Jurassic Park, but the fences are already down and the dinosaurs are just eating people. I mean, it is kind of like, did the John and Heidi knew? Of course. I'm just imagining, like, you walking in, the John Williams score swells, and you just see this glorious, like, waterfall coming down in the middle of the lobby of the theater with, like, a rainbow, and he just turns and goes, "Welcome to Santa Monica." She mentioned after, when she ended up talking, telling me she used to be in charge there before City Walk. Well, that explains a lot about Heidi, because Heidi was, she always seemed like she knew, she'd been through some shit, so. You'd think, because it's such a rich area, like, everybody out there is so goddamn rich. But it's always where all the batshit, you get the rich people, the entitled rich people, and the insane people that are out there. Also, why she sent me there, said I could handle it. I do remember when COVID hit and you were just like, I'm not going back, fuck that job. I mean, they kind of broke you. They abused you at that. They were relying on you so much. So, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. That's why you should go work at the Vidiots down the road. It's non-profit. It's not a crazy, but I'm sure it'll have plenty of high stress situations. It's just not run by a terrible company. The offer to go back also wasn't good enough. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure they probably didn't want to bring anybody back. They probably, yeah, how they handled the COVID stuff. I remember when they were like really jonesing to open when it was not safe to open. But they're terrible. So many people were terrible. They just wanted to. Oh no, of course they wanted you back, because the whole thing would fall apart without you. Half the general managers of those theaters like needed you. So yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. I was called back months before they started the initial layoffs. Yeah. Yep. Ended up firing a lot of the managers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because they were downsizing. Yeah, there was no way in hell they were going to fire you. Nope. I think, wasn't there a word for it? I remember you telling me there was a word for it where, like, that they have for their, like, elite people or their high potential people or whatever it was. I know you were in that group, essentially, like, the top tier of, like, these are the people they want to keep around to move up the company kind of stuff. But also abuse the living bejesus out of you. Just absolutely bully you, pretty much. Yeah, there you go. I find that funny. You're a hippo. You're a hippo, Oprosaurus. Aren't you proud of yourself being a hippo? That means you're actually really violent. I think hippos are actually really, really dangerous. They're really territorial too. They look funny, and they just kind of hang out water, but I'm pretty sure they're, like, really, really aggressive. Maybe I made that up, but I feel like I read that somewhere. They're deceptively aggressive. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I mean, we pronounced it hypo. Yeah, yeah. Look at the... okay. I was pretty sure it was true. I was pretty sure that hippos were super aggressive, even though they look super cute. Yeah, no, I would never call it hypo. 100%. I'd be like, you're one of the hippos. You're a hippo. I'm actually shocked no one else pronounced it that way. I mean, I guess there's only one P, but whatever. Make it work. Make it work as an excuse to call people hippos. Yeah. I figured that's what it stood for. High potential. High potential. All right. Okay. All right. We need to We need to get work done, everybody. That's why we're here. That's why we're streaming. We're streaming to get work done, even though my brain feels like it's melting before we've even gotten started. But I needed to stream before I go on vacation. So, we are going to start with our writing sprints, and probably be a shorter stream since I still need to pack and do everything else. But we'll get... Progress is progress. If there is a theme that we have sussed out so far in the short time that we have been together on this channel, it is that progress is progress. All right. Okay. We're going to switch over to our spooky drones, and we are going to start the writing. Okay. Cool. All right, everybody. If you're writing, you're working, doing whatever you're doing, I hope it's a good sprint, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, everybody. And away we go. And sprint is done. Huzzah! We did it. One sprint down. Boom. I could definitely feel it. That is... I can also feel how tired I am, so... Oof. But, that's good. That's good. Made a little bit of progress. A little bit of progress. Hello, good evening. Oi. Zel, how are you? How are you this fine, fine evening? Because tonight we are trying to wrap up this outline. A little less tired than you from the sounds of it. Yeah, that's good. That is good. I was running around all day. I go on vacation. And by vacation, I mean I drive around 3 different states visiting my family. But I start that tomorrow. So I was driving around, taking care of a bunch of stuff. So driving around Los Angeles is like a job in of itself. Yeah, I mean, I like to go see my mom and see my dad and stuff, but it's family. Family comes with family things sometimes. And I'll be up in Wyoming, in the boonies and the mountains. And there's certainly a lot of characters up there that can be somewhat exhausting to be around for long durations of time. But yeah. I try to do it once a year, just to try and see my family. Yeah. I mean, you're in Texas, so I'm sure you're in. You got a lot, but I got 2 audiobooks of the essays you recommended, so they will be keeping me company on my drive. So thank you for that. For the Margaret Atwood one and the other one with Jupiter eating with the Trump hat eating Zeus, or eating his children. My dream is to move to Montana. I love the country out there. Montana is gorgeous. That is beautiful, beautiful country. You're welcome. Yeah, I will let you know. I'm sure I'll enjoy them. They sound pretty, particularly the not the Margaret Atwood one, but the other one sounds really funny. It sounds fun. Yeah, Montana's pretty. I think eventually I would like. I've put a lot of thought into moving to the Pacific Northwest if I ever got the chance. It's a lot of rain, but man, it's pretty. The redwoods are up there. It's gorgeous country. So, but, yeah. Oh, you did? You lived in Washington? How'd you like it up there? Was it too much rain? Oh, nice. Yep. If I could, I would go to Canada. I would live in Vancouver. The film industry is very, very, very. It's a lot out there. So it's kind of up my alley, but it's also very expensive. Even with LA standards, it's pretty expensive. But yeah, it's a year out there though. It was a stark contrast from North Carolina, where I lived for 6 years prior, and oh no, okay, well that changes things. Like you are literally surrounded by pine. There's like all there is up there. Or there's a lot of it. Oh, so that was probably not fun for you. That was not a. Yeah, I'm sure it's. Yeah, I like the rain. Although we've gotten a lot of rain out here in LA, and I'm ready for that to be done. But I think that's more because of how LA handles the rain. Like, people lose their minds out here, and it's just become a hazard to everybody. But yeah, the view is gorgeous. It's too bad that you have that allergy though. Oh. Grayness is worse than rain. I agree with that. And that's what got me most. Grayness. Oh, was it the just all the cloud cover, so everything just kind of was gray, kind of dusky feeling? That's kind of, yeah. Yep. I have a feeling if yeah, even when it's like, yeah, because it's just cloudy there all the time. That's kind of, I'm pretty good. I think I'm not too susceptible to like weather. I like to think, but it sounds like it's a lot of cloud cover. So a part of me worries that it would, even for me, it would be too much. But I wonder if that's any easier on the coast, like up in Vancouver or British Columbia. But yeah, that's But other than that, how are you doing? Are you working on your stuff? Post teaching our bright young youth. Let's see here. Oh man, jeez. It's like nothing but. One day I'll tell you how the Canadian Border Patrol turned me away because they thought I was trying to. What? Like they thought you were trying to illegally immigrate to Canada? That's crazy. They were just like, nope. What? What? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure as long as you have a. Oh, it's a long story. Okay. I look forward to that story. I'm like, how did that happen? How did they just be like, no? As far as I can tell, it's pretty easy to cross the border. Just next thing you know, you're being chased down by like Canadian Mounties riding moose. That's funny. Yeah, I haven't had. Luckily, I haven't. I've been out of the country a lot, and so far I haven't had anything too much. A lot of food? Apparently, that's really suspicious. I mean, I know some places do get really weird about food, and the U.S. actually does it too, sometimes. But that's odd that's a suspicious thing. If you're like, you could also just have food. That's not an uncommon thing to have in your car, particularly if you're like going on a road trip or traveling to have food. Interesting. That's yeah, sometimes in California, I know that sometimes they get really, there is an actual like border stop on the border of like California and Arizona, or California and Utah. And sometimes they get really, really, really weird with stuff. Like when I was moving to California, I had my tortoise, and they got really weird about that for some reason. I was like, I guess I kind of get that for like nature things, but he was contained, like he has his cage, but it's odd. Sometimes they just get uppity. Where was your favorite place you visited? Oof. I love Japan. Yeah, they do. Yeah. California has border stops. Japan is up there, pretty high up there. I loved it out there. Berlin was like my favorite city. It's just, it has like probably the greatest museums I've ever encountered there. Like the gates of Babylon are there. It's wild. But it's also like a really, really. Oh, you say you're in Berlin for 4 months. Very cool. So you're familiar with it. Yeah, I went to I stayed right next to Cafe Einstein, which was the old like film house that apparently like Goebbels, when like obviously when the Nazis were in power, but Goebbels like kept all of his like actors and actresses at. Now it's like, I think Tarantino actually shoots there for Inglourious Bastards during the crepe scene, because they're like a famous crepe place. But they have like an upstairs bar. I went there. It was one of my favorite places. I went to an anarchist movie showing. So on the east side of Berlin, where like all those like kind of abandoned buildings are, there was just a bunch of squatters. They were like anarchist squatters, and they were really cool. And apparently uh, essentially as a thank you to the neighborhood for letting them squat in these old buildings, they do a potluck. Um, Nodding like you can see me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They did like this potluck, and so I went and like ate a bunch of really delicious food and got to watch a movie with a bunch of anarchists, and then like went upstairs and talked about anarchist literature. I don't know. I loved Berlin. It was definitely like, yeah, it was a wild time. I had a good time with that. So I'd probably say Berlin and Japan are like my two tops for sure. I'm a nerd, so I'm into all the Japanese nerd shit. So, but also just culturally, the architecture, the countryside in Japan is just gorgeous. But so is Berlin. Um, it's a funky place. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The art community there is too, and I got to hang out with a bunch of guys who were just getting stoned on the Rhine, like over on the beach. It was wild. Yeah, Germany's fun. It's a fun time. But yeah, I'd say a close follow up to that would be like Norway. I was in Denmark for a while and spent a little bit of time popping up to Norway. And Norway, it's just that's just gorgeous country. There's not a lot up there. There's not a lot of people up there, but it's gorgeous. Particularly where all the old ice flats are. Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of my favorite places. All right. Okay. So we are on to writing sprint 2. I'm promising myself not to get too distracted tonight, but I want to visit the Nordic countries. Yeah, I've never been to Iceland. That's next up on my list, but I would highly recommend Denmark's a lot of fun, and Norway's a lot of fun. Ultimate dream is to go see the Northern Lights. Yep, Tromso. If you go up super far north in the winter, up the city Tromso in Norway, that's probably going to be the best spot ever. It's like on a nightly basis you're gonna see the Northern Lights. It's gorgeous. I think my dad told me it was almost as crazy. My dad was up on the North Pole for a while, and he said that Tromso was the closest to just actually being at the North Pole watching the Northern Lights. It's wild stuff. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, everybody, it is time for a sprint. Although now I'm just going to be fantasizing about globetrotting. Because I love it. All right. So up sprint number 2. And away we go. Good luck writing, everybody. And we'll see you on the other side. Boom. Whew. Congrats, everybody. Sprint number 2. Down. Well done. That was easier. Maybe the caffeine is finally hitting. Like, starting to actually feel mildly awake. Not like I just want to curl up in a ball and fall asleep. Alright. Got the break timer up. 2 thumbs up for 2 sprints. Well done. Well done, everybody. Alrighty. I think I might actually be able to, for the most part, get this outline done-ish. It doesn't need to be the most complete outline, but it'll be more than enough of like a pretty consolidated roadmap. So when I get back, I can just go straight into actually writing pages on it, which will be good. That's where I wanted to be. The goal was to try to get scripts done faster, because every single script I've written in the past like 2 years has taken me like 8 months. It's too long. Too long. So I'm hoping that this, you know, I can crank one out every few months. Just try to get a lot out there. I completely forgot I was supposed to have a short film written by the end of this month too. But that didn't happen. Too much to do. Too much to do. Too much to do. Oop. Spending my sprints working on my... Oh, on your German. Very cool. I have a silly exam I need to pass by the end of the year. Oh, cool. So you're doing studying the language too. Well done. Are you can you speak multiple languages, or is that what you're working on right now? Because that is a thing that I want to do before I die, is at least master a second language, and I have not done so yet. A certain level of proficiency is required. Oh, very cool. Very cool. You sound rather busy in your creative pursuits. Yeah, I have a lot. I try to do too much sometimes. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. But yes, I do have a lot. Do have a lot, and try not to be hard on myself when I fall behind, because I try to acknowledge that there's a lot. But some people out here, but I am envious of there are people out here who can just crank stuff out. And so, and it's not like just bad, you know, it's a lot of it's pretty good, but they can just crank things out like crazy. And pretty good stuff too. So I'm trying to be envious of that. Or, like, not be envious, but, like, be better about finishing projects earlier rather than dwelling on them for months and months and months. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. That is true. That is the truest. Best not compete with others. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the, is that the sunscreen video that he made? That was on MTV years. I think it's Baz Luhrmann. I think that's how. Yeah, I remember that video. That it was like a music video promo that he made. That's essentially just like talking you up and being like, "Hey, it's okay." That was like, I think he did that around the time he made Romeo and Juliet. But yes, that's cool. That's cool that you've seen that, and it's good advice. Spoken word, really. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's kind of more of like to music and visuals and kind of just like a spoken word mantra or poem. Wow. Yeah, that brings me back. Jeez. I haven't thought about that in a long time. That's cool, though. There was a period where I would watch or like have that, and then like Carl Sagan, like the pale blue dot speech were like the two big ones. Oh, that's cool. You show it to your students every class. That's awesome. That's really cool. That's such a good, like, positive thing. Yeah. That would be funny if you're just, the students are like, my God, they will not stop showing this every day. Yeah, no, I figured it. Yeah, each course. That's cool. That is really cool. That's such like a nice, like, positive thing to just motivate people to do their best, but also not feel bad, and like just, you know, it's good. It's one of the biggest things you can do in your life is be comfortable with yourself and how you are and who you are and your creative endeavors. And it's a lot harder. That's far harder to do. Easy to say, hard to do. But especially for those with angst about what to do with my life. Yeah, I've known it. I've had a few friends who've gone through those crises. I'm just like, it's fine. You're fine. Like some people have no clue what they do, and honestly, some of the people who know what they want to do when they're 14 and then they just pursue that like mad also like can also wind up being deeply boring people, and sometimes even deeply unsatisfied, you know, years down the road. So it's fine. Like, take your time, figure your stuff out. It's okay. Once I hit my 30s, I was like, and I wasn't where I wanted to be. I always reminded myself that Ridley Scott didn't direct his first. I mean, he directed commercials and stuff like that, but he didn't direct his first feature film until he was 40. 39 or 40, I can't remember, when he did The Duelists, which means he was in his like I think like in his second movie, of course, was Alien. You know, and he did that in his like 43. So it's like, yeah, you don't need to be like an 18-year-old wonderkind to make, you know, to do the things you want to do with your life, as much as the world will tell you otherwise. And Hollywood and film can be a very much like obsess over the youth, like being young. It is an entire culture around being young. It just puts too much pressure on people. Like, go learn to be a person first. Go like make mistakes and live your life before you start doing stuff like that. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, I got 2 minutes. I'm gonna go refill my water before our next sprint. I'll be right back. Oh. Let's see. Mistakes are going to be much better indicator of your true north, I think, than all of your successes taken individually. That is true. As someone who has failed far, far more than I have succeeded, I like to think that is absolutely true. But as a 31-year-old myself, I am probably just full of shit. It's... I don't know if you feel this way, but I definitely do, where I'm pretty sure adults are a bullshit fantasy that we've made up. So I think we're all full of shit. I think we're all full of shit, and all we can do is just try and help each other out by saying things like that. By saying things like, hey, we're, you know, mistakes are sometimes your failures are far more important than your successes. So embrace them and own them. And that also is a hard thing to do. Particularly as you get older. There's so much pressure to feel like you have to succeed as you get older. You know. It's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of baggage there that you have to tweets of wisdom, exactly, yes. As a person, this will be the closest I ever get to Twitter. is this. So these will be my tweets. My wisdom tweets. But yes. Alrighty. Let's zoom back in here. Alright. Do a quick stretch and then get back to it. Oh. Yep. Ah, yes. Alright. Okay, everybody. Let's go ahead and do another sprint. So, good luck. Happy writing. And I'll see you on the other side. And away we go. Whoa. Whoa. We got a raid. It's a funky raid. Hello, everybody. We're just doing writing sprints. My name's Wilight. Welcome in. Welcome in. Feel free to join along. I'm working on a haunted house movie. Another man with a fancy stash. That's what they keep saying. Yes, thank you so much. Yep, I love it. It really helps me out. Thank you, SL Funk. That's a great name too. But thank you for the raid. Yeah, feel free to hop in, hang out as long as you want. Love to have you. Yes, and we love our lurkers. Whoa. And Coffee Quills just dipped in. Hello, Coffee Quills. I got another raid. Always love seeing you, Coffee Quills. Thank you so much. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, my name's Wilight. What was it? Tomorrow we write. Oh, man. Well, at midnight. Oh, good. Woo. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you didn't know, my name is Wilight. I'm a screenwriter and director, and we're working on a haunted house movie right now. And we're doing writing sprints. So feel free to join in. The words goes. We're almost done with the outline, so I'm feeling very good about it. It's been a long outlining process, so excited to actually start writing pages. How's everybody else? How's your writing going? I hope it is going wonderfully. It's time for Sleep's raid run. I understand that. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Oof. Yeah, I understand editing is, yep. It's my least favorite part of the process, but that's just me. And there we go. Writing sprint done. Hopefully it was good for everybody writing along. I actually think, I'm kind of shocked, I think I might only need one more to finish the outline. I'm getting real close to done. Whew. All right. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to chat being so quiet. So much stuff. Let's see here. Go back. Make good use of Camp Naho this year. Oh, very nice. Ah, well, between coffee quills and if we can be just a small part of helping everybody achieve their writing goals, hopefully we can. Oh man, you're watching. Was it Northwest Country Girl 117? You're watching Gunsmoke. That sounds like a blast. Oh, I hope that's I haven't watched Gunsmoke. I used to watch that on TV Land as a kid constantly, and the things we get to do for research are fabulous. A fantasy western sounds like the coolest thing ever. I think the next thing I'm gonna write after this script is a horror western, so I'm glad to see westerns are in. All right. Let's see here. Deutsche Welle has a series of pop music videos produced for German learners, and they are ridiculous. Mwah, ridiculous. But really well made, and dare I say kind of catch it. Okay, I'm going to have to look that up. I do not know those, but if they are... Language videos oftentimes are some of the most insane... I remember Muzi, those like VHS tapes of Muzi trying to learn like Spanish, but I think you could get it for any language. And I remember I took 1 year of German in high school, and they had this crocodile. I think it was a crocodile. It was an alligator. I can't remember. But there was like a video the teacher kept playing. So sometimes those videos are fantastic. What is it? All right, Deutsch. I'm going to check this out. Put that in the things to explore. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Just put that in my links to check out. Oh, man. I'm going to have to take a look at those. Damn, sometimes when I haven't watched for a while, I forgot what a big man James Arness was. Oh, yeah. They were... I don't know if anyone here has watched... I did love the kind of... little tip of the hat to Gunsmoke with what was it, like something outlaw, whatever, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's fantastic. Little homage to Gunsmoke. I can't remember what the fake name of the show is with Rick Dalton in that movie. He was 6'7"? Holy, he was that big? I mean, I knew he was big. I didn't... He was almost 7 feet tall. That's crazy. Or over 6.5. That is nuts. Like, that's almost high. Oh, yeah. Yep. I like that the first little factoid that pops up when I look him up is that he wanted to be a pilot and couldn't because he was too tall. He was literally too big to fit in an airplane. That is... Yeah, I never would have guessed. That means they were putting actors on apple boxes left and right, is what that means. Around him, just to be able to get him in the frame. I don't have time for it as much as I would like, but it's 20 years of great West storytelling. Gunsmoke's a blast. I mean, for me, it was Gunsmoke. I grew up on Gunsmoke and Bonanza. I think Gunsmoke was probably better than Bonanza, but I do have fond memories of Bonanza. Oh, I forgot to start the down timer. INSP. Gunsmoke and Wagon Train. Oh, man. I think I've probably only ever watched like 1 or 2 episodes of Wagon Train. Yeah, I'm nowhere near as familiar with that one. That's cool though. Those old westerns just shooting up at the ranches, or like even like MASH, where they would shoot up. They shot like MASH and Wagon Train and Gunsmoke, or like a lot of those. I'm assuming they shot Wagon Train in the same area. It was done by NBC, so I assume it was shot up in the hills. In my grandparents' household, it was particularly Walker. Oh man, Walker. A lot of MASH and Bonanza too. My dad and my stepmom were constantly watching Walker, Texas Ranger, and I vividly remember, because I think it has the kid. I can't remember the kid. I think it's the kid from The Sixth Sense. Maybe it's not the Sixth. It's one of them, but it was like one of his early roles, and it was like the big like AIDS Walker, Texas Ranger episode. I just remember that episode specifically, but that was always on Walker, Texas Ranger. It's a terrible show. I don't know if anyone's gone back to watch it. It's terrible. It's really bad. And Nash Bridges, which was just Miami Vice 2.0. Leonard Nimoy had a guest star on Wagon Train 8 years before Star Trek. Oh, yeah, there's a few. I mean, that's like Shatner and like Twilight Zone and stuff. There's a bunch of early things that Leonard Nimoy was in. What else was there before Star Trek? Because they were all kind of like bit actors at the time. I mean, even when they did Star Trek, they were relatively just kind of like gun for hires for local television. Oh, that's right. He was in Them. That's what I was thinking of. That's right. He was in, which is like an old, bug creature feature, like kind of movie. Kind of like big giant spiders where it's all forced perspective. Where they just put spiders in like miniatures and then mat people in. I think he was in Perry Mason too. Let's see here. So, does that mean that like, it sounds like westerns are those generally what you like to write? Northwest Country Girl, or County? Yeah, Country Girl. Just making sure. I'm blind, if you can't tell. The James Arness height thing always makes me laugh because John, it's in my contract. I always ride the tallest horse. Wayne was 6'4". Oh, yeah. Oh, John Wayne. He just needs those extra couple inches on the biggest horse, I guess. That guy was a character. I mean, troubled history and all, but man. Actually, not too long ago, I just rewatched The Searchers. It is a genuinely fantastic film. Like, that is, you can see why John Ford essentially defined the Western genre. It is one of the best. And John Wayne's great in it. I think that was the one that made him a star, too. Working on what will be my debut novel, hoping to have it published at the end of the year. Well, awesome. That sounds fantastic. I love this. Yeah, it's hard not to. Sorry, it's a fantastic film. That's exciting. So your debut novel, and by the end of the year, that's exciting. And that's the Western fantasy you're working on? That that's exciting. If once it's published, I hope I get to read it, because that's not enough love for the Western genre. I'm just now found this book. It's called The White Buffalo by Richard Sale. Apparently, it's kind of like a weird Western, so it came highly recommended if you were into like Lovecrafty cosmic horror mixed with Westerns, which is kind of my jam, or at least the cosmic horror side of it. Yeah, True Grit is what got him his Oscar. Yeah, that he did that way later in his life. I think he was pretty old when he did that. Is on number 56 of the AFI Top 100 Movies of All Time list. Yep. You can see why. It was, I mean, I'm pretty sure like The Searchers and maybe I would probably say Stagecoach would be like some of the defining, like, this is what changed Westerns. I mean, those are the Westerns that inspired Kurosawa to do his version of samurai Westerns in Japan. So it kind of created this sort of like fractal genre. And then obviously the spaghetti Westerns with Sergio Leone and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Fistful of Dollars and all that. So it kind of started with John Ford and his Westerns. Oh, Stagecoach. Funny way of saying Hondo and Rio Bravo. I don't know why. Stagecoach has always stood out to me more. But Rio Bravo for sure. Those are, yeah, Rio Bravo's like, yeah, that's Hawks. Yep. That is Hawks. I always remember reading that John Carpenter just wished he was Howard Hawks. He does have a love for Howard Hawks. Like even his horror movies are kind of like Western, like clearly take a lot from Howard Hawks movies. But I can tell you are definitely on the Rio Bravo Hondo side. Must have watched The Searchers, Sons of Katie Elder, and Cowboys 100 times with my dad. That's cool. That's those are the bonding movies where you got to hang out with your dad. My dad was not a movie guy, so it's like they would watch TV. The only thing I could get him to watch with me was usually like 2001: A Space Odyssey, because he was kind of like a space nerd. And Godzilla movies, but it's because he used to watch Godzilla movies when he was a kid living in Japan. But ooh, all right. Gonna stretch really quick. Oh, McClintock is great. Yes, that's a fantastic film. McClintock. I mean, Shane. I love Shane. That's like one of the best traditional sort of, you know, kind of the man with no name vibe Westerns. All right. Okay. The last writing sprint of the night for me, I think. Probably take this to 11. Everything except Quiet Man. I think it's the only John Wayne movie he hates. Dad loves the Duke. I don't think I've seen Quiet Man. Which one was that? Oh, that's a pretty early one. Oh, that's a John Ford movie. Yeah, I have not watched that one. Interesting. Ba-bum. All right. Oh, she wore a yellow ribbon. Good lord. Alrighty. Okay, everybody. I think we're going to go ahead and set up and do the last writing sprint, at least my last writing sprint for the night. So, if you are writing along, I hope it is a productive one. And away we go. Happy writing, everybody. Hello, Riven Trust. Welcome in. We're just doing writing sprints right now, so if you're working on anything or writing, feel free to join along. Alrighty. And that's the end of that sprint. And I hope it was a productive one for everybody. Let's see here. SL Funk sneaking back in to join the rest of the focus session. Oh, good. I hope it was good. I hope it was a good one. Raventrost. Let's see. An epic fantasy of eldritch horror, action, adventure, revenge plot with sprinkling of magic, school, along with Chosen One stuff. Very cool. I mean, eldritch horror is my vibe. That's This is a haunted house ghost story I'm writing, but I'm pulling heavily from Shadow Out of Time and doing some cosmic-y stuff. So it's a little, a little Lovecraftian, or at least the eldritch cosmic horror side of thing. If you like revenge plot and eldritch horror, you should check out Emeka Dolion. She does some good historical and horror fiction. Oh, well, I'll have to check that out. That sounds right up my alley. Good. I'm glad it was good. All right. Well, I think for me tonight, I think I'm going to call it because I pretty much finished this outline, which is exciting. What program am I using? Yep, we are using Scapple. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I hope everybody. Yeah, I'm glad we made it. So next up, we should probably be able to start working on pages, like actually script pages. Yeah, I use Scapple as like my idea. This is the vomit. It's the vomit board that I use Scapple for, and then I go into Scrivener or however you pronounce it when I do my like beat boards and first drafts, and then I refine everything in final draft. It seems weird. It's like using 3 different programs, but I do it. We love a good vomit board. Yep. Yeah, this is the outline vomit board. There was the initial vomit board, which is just a slur, like insane ideas all over the place. So I enjoy it. It helps me think. The chaos, making meaning from chaos. It's, for some reason, it helps. That is good. Yep. All right. Well, yeah. Let's see here. I think I am probably going to call it because I have to pack. I am going on vacation, so I will be not streaming quite as much for the next week as I travel, but I will be doing some writing streams, hopefully. And I'll be back the week after that. Yes, time with family. Now, and I do intend, I have to go over, I'm a little concerned because I'm going to Wyoming, so I'm hoping the roads are okay. I know they shut down I-80 because of the winds and the snow, so we'll take it slow and be safe. But for everybody who just joined and followed, thank you very much. And I hope to see you all again. And yeah, pretty much this is what I do on stream. Just writing sprints, work on screenplays, and eventually in the future I'd actually like to try and live stream some of the production process. But that's a little bit further down the road from where we're at now. But yes, yeah. Be kind to yourselves, everybody, and hope the writing goes well, and you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you very much, and I hope you all do have a marvelous night and marvelous writing adventures ahead of you. And we'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Take care, everybody.